It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
All right, Brian, you want to get, here's one to get on your soapbox on, because I think you're going to. This is from Dylan. Oh, man, and I'm excited about this one. No, you're going to like this. This is going to get you juiced. Any words of encouragement to us younger folks with very little invested? It seems like social media and financial communities normalize people in their mid-20s having six-figure portfolios already. Thanks.
Yeah.
Anything you'd say to that, Brian? Anything you say to the thing, what social media and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and all these things are telling our young people about where they ought to be from a financial standpoint thus far?
Yeah, I realize it's all fake.
It's all fake. It's all lie.
Yeah,
it's not.
There's a few. Like I said, I listened to the Joe Rogan, Mr. Beast episode, and Jimmy is crushing it. I mean, he's making $1 gazillion a year. There are always going to be outliers like that. But let me give you some cold hard facts. The typical millionaire reaches that age at 49 years of age. I think that is always amazing because once again, I try to dissect into the why and how is that possible. Most people graduate college or get started in their careers in their early 20s. If you take early 20s to 49 years of age, you can see that they're approximately getting close to 3 decades, 2.5 to 3 decades of their money working for them. That's the reality of the situation. And that's also the reality of compounding growth. It's not, I would tell you, don't focus on what you're seeing on social media. Focus on getting that first $100,000 invested, and then you're going to watch that turn into $500,000, and then you're going to see that turn into $1 million. And then after you get to $1 million, $3 million happens like that. I'm just telling you the compounding effect, because every time your money is making 8 to 10%, you're talking about hundreds of thousands. You're talking about $100,000 or more if you're over 7 figures. That's the reality of the situation. You don't see many 20-somethings. I did a show. If you want to go out there, there's an archive I did with PT Money where I described that my goal was, and I shared this, and I've shared this previously. It kind of makes me squeamish because I don't like to talk about my financial life, but it's I wanted to make $100,000 by the time I was 30. Because I started my company when I was 28, I didn't hit that until I was 31 because I was right underneath that at age 26, 27 when I was working for the other employer. And then I wanted to have $1 million liquid, meaning that in cash and in investments that I could get access to by the time I was 40. I didn't hit that either. And I think that is but now here's the thing. I'm getting close to 50 and
things have worked out.
Exponential growth factor. I don't even think if you'd asked 40-year-old Brian, do you think you'll have this by this? I would have said no way. And that's the way, because we always think linear, and then we get down on ourselves because we saw something on social media and we're like, man, I'm thinking linear. My assets are growing this slow amount. And then I'm seeing these other people. I'm comparing myself. And remember, comparison is the thief of your happiness. No. If you do what you're supposed to, that's why we give you the financial order of operations. We tell you how financial mutants think about it. You're not going to be thinking linear. You're going to be thinking living a life of exponential growth when you get to be in your 40s. And that's why I'm always very open. Messy middle, it's okay that you feel broke and you're having to be very deliberate with the savings and the discipline, because I'm telling you, I didn't feel like I had money until I was 42, 43 years of age. And I think that goes against what you see out there in social media. And because we even have people say, are you guys wealthy? How can you give us advice? And I don't like to brag about what we're doing, but I'm telling you, if you will do this and follow, we have created so much success. And I get the emails from you guys. I get the comments from you guys. I know we're changing people's lives, but you've got to be patient. You've got to do the hard work in the beginning. And I've even done content where I show after 10 years of investing, still the lion's share of your value of your account is still what you put into it. It's not really until you get into years 20, 25, and 30 and beyond that you see that the 70 to 90% of your account value is now the growth. You had to put the time in. That's why when I talk about the 3 components of wealth, discipline, money, and then time, time is definitely the most important component of that 3-ingredient recipe.
You know, we have a wealth management firm where we work with very, very successful and wealthy individuals and families all over the country, all different walks of life. You know, none of them are on social media boasting and bragging about how much money they have or how well they've done or how successful they've been. I often have to do this with my wife. You know, if we're driving around, she'll see like a really nice car or we drive past some really nice house. Oh man, that person must have so much money. Like, no. When you see all these really nice trappings, that's not a sign of someone who has a lot of money. It's a sign of someone who's willing to spend a lot of money. Whether they actually have it or not, you have no idea. There's no way to discern that based on the outward appearance. And in our experience, most folks who are wealthy and have done well aren't trying to put it out there on social media talking about it. So I'd be very weary of those folks in their 20s that are putting out how successful they are and how much they have figured out, because I just don't know if I buy it. I just don't know if I believe it. So if you want to do something that'll be very helpful to make you feel a little bit better about where you are, we have a formula that can help you. Right, and this is based off of the Money Guy, the Money Guy Next Door. That'd be awesome. The Millionaire Next Door formula. Take your age, multiply it times your income, and then divide it by the number of years until you get to 40 plus 10. Age times income divided by 10 plus the number of years until you get 40. That'll tell you where you should be from a net worth standpoint if you want to be an average accumulator of wealth. And there's nothing wrong early on being an average accumulator. Your goal should be to double that number, right? That's to know if you're a prodigious accumulator. If you can follow those two things, that's a much better metric of, okay, am I where I'm supposed to be, or am I close, or am I moving in the right direction? And even more so early on, your savings rate should be your driving factor. You shouldn't care about, do I have a 6-figure portfolio? Have I made $1 million by the time I'm there? Any of those sort of things. You should focus on, am I saving 25% of my gross wages? And am I doing that as early as possible? Because if the answer is yes, the hundreds of thousands and the millions of dollars will come. You have to get the behavior right early on. I would ignore social media, ignore those folks, ignore the people in their 20s that are normalizing that, because hear it from us, it is not normal.
Yeah, and I want you to know your why. I mean, know what makes you happy financially, because you know, I really do wish I could do like a Brewster's Millions experiment, because we've done so many shows on the dark side of wealth and other things where there's so many CEOs of companies that are just loaded but extremely depressed. So money is not this, and that's probably the biggest thing I work with clients on, is that they think when you reach this level of wealth, let's just say decamillionaire, you're going to find it, you don't feel any different. You know, when you sell your company for $1 gazillion or you have $10 million of investments, you feel no different. Now you can do a lot more, but you need to understand the why, so you get the incremental happiness and actually have a fulfilling life. Because I think that's why so many lottery winners and others, because they're purposeless. I'm saying that completely. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying purpose. But they don't have a purposeful life at the point that they don't ever reach the fulfillment side of happiness.